So let's talk about going into your villain era, your jerk phase, right? When you've had enough, whether it comes to getting rejected, getting flaked on, or just a general sense you feel like you're giving too much energy to women and you're simping and you overinvested in a girl, or maybe you were in a relationship and got cheated on and you're heartbroken, whatever. And your response is, screw this. I'm gonna go beast mode. I'm gonna be evil. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm gonna do what I want, go get what I want, and everyone else can, kiss my ass. And I've been there. Like, trust me, you're not unique in the fact that you've gone through this phase, right? A lot of times we feel like it's our protagonist moment where he's on the ground. Like, we're very dramatic, and these dramatic narratives that we draw in our head can be useful so long as they lead to good results. But the problem with this is that we over dramatize our pain and our rejections, and then we think that a solution to that is to go to the dark side, right? Or you become Majin Vegeta during the Buu saga when he took the evil power of Babibi or Habibi, whatever his name is, Bababin, and he became evil. He became very powerful, right? But he sacrificed his goodness for it. You sell your soul, whatever, however you want to think of it. And our goal when we go through pain and rejection and within the dating sphere, this applies to anything, right? Business, you're failing at business and you're like, oh, this isn't going well, I'm taking it slow, da da da. And then you find some people who are successful, but they maybe use less than moral tactics, right? They sell people crappy products. I've had people show me people who are like really, really successful and make a bunch of money selling this product or that product. And then I look at their product and I'm just like, this is fucking garbage, right? But they just make, $6 here, $7 there, but they sell to hundreds of thousands of people. So it just churns in just crazy income. But these are the kind of products you're going to like take it, try and be like, oh, that was garbage, but it was only $7, whatever. But these people are making millions and millions and millions selling you crap. Right? So you're going to be like, well, I'm taking it slow. I'm spending so much time making a good product. I'm being a good person. And all these other people are succeeding despite the fact that I'm doing it right and they're doing it wrong. And that may or may not be true. They might actually be selling a good product and doing, good business practices. And you're just seeing the final results of them struggling for 10 years, right? Or they could be crappy, right? But you want to fast track. So you're like, screw this. I'm going to try and take a shortcut. And always shortcuts come with a price, right? The same with the villain era. You're going to end up creating a lot more chaos and pain in your life than if you had just had some fucking patience and kept going down the route you were going, right? Don't give up, but don't try and take a shortcut either. You got to do it the good old-fashioned way. And when it comes to dating, being a good person, having integrity, is part of the good old-fashioned way that will work and will end up in results. But you do need to go Super Saiyan and get some energy and self-respect and some strength and, start enforcing boundaries, start having respect for yourself, start, not letting people walk all over you. But so many times we over-dramatize our pain and our rejection and we get lost in these fucking narratives in our head. And it's so easy to slip from, I'm not going to take shit, and I'm going to enforce my boundaries, and I'm blah, 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 blah. It's just one little step. It's 1 centimeter, 1 inch, and you're in, I'm going to start sending girls videos of me with other girls to make them jealous, right? Like, I came across this video, we'll watch it really quick, that I think perfectly illustrates this, like, villain era thing. Right, so, this video is a perfect example of what a villain era is and kind of why it's so tempting. Because, all right, she flaked on him. Might have been legitimate. She might have been playing games. Who knows? There's a good chance she was playing games because why is she recording this? And, if she wasn't, like, thinking like this, then she wouldn't have recorded this. She would have just seen him go, oh, why are you acting like that, right? So there's a chance, actually, she was, like, maybe playing games with him. But his response was, oh, I'm going to fight evil with evil. So I'm going to send you a video that I just replaced you with another girl. And, I mean, the second girl was prettier, so well, at least on a physical level, he made a better choice. But then he had to rub it in her face. Now, even if someone screws you over, you are not justified in doing evil to them. Right? Two wrongs don't make it right. You think that's something that you learn in kindergarten and it doesn't apply and the world has more nuance to it. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Morality in this case doesn't have any nuance to it. Like, if someone's being an asshole to you, being an asshole to them back is not justified. I trust me, I've done it so many fucking times and it's never justified. I always would feel shitty after. I would always regret it. It would always feel tainted. It's like black magic, Sith magic, the dark side, Majin Vegeta, okay? It never turns out right, but it's fucking tempting. Because as you can see in her video, you could see on her face, like, you may not be able to read these things, but she was kind of like turned on by the fact that he did that, right? If that's legitimately that girl, someone could have spliced these videos together. But if that's legitimately her reacting to it, like, you could see on her face, that's the kind of face like, I want to call him a jerk, but at the same time, I also want to suck his dick. And when guys see that and they understand it, like when I went through my jerk phase and my asshole phase, which would come and go over the years, I'd do it and then I'd relax. And then I would get heartbroken or whatever and then go back to being an asshole. And what happens is you see success, right? When I was a super nice guy virgin and then I started being super social, right? I started seeing success. Then when I turned on like the jerk part, I saw even more success, right? And so it's so tempting, just like when I gave the business example of, all right, I'm going to start using, less than virtuous business tactics. I'm going to sell shitty products. I'm going to really persist and push people and persuade them into buying products that they really don't need. I'm going to use, underhanded manipulative tactics, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't force someone to buy a product, right? You can't, do black magic and a girl is suddenly sucking your dick, right? That's not how the art of seduction works, right? But there are ways that you can push buttons that you don't need to press that can result in success, but they actually end up just drawing bad people in your life, and they end up creating bad habits when it comes to communication, that when you actually end up with a healthy girl, you're either going to lose her or you're going to screw her over, right? And neither of those are good. And the hardest part about telling you not to go into a villain era is that it's so tempting, because you are going to get success from it. I know, because I've done it, right? But here's the thing that 99% of the idiots out there never fully grow out of and understand. Because all of the top guys in the world that you see who are successful in the world, 99% of them are going about it with evil. Right, your top celebrities, getting all these girls. They're most of the time, I can't speak for everyone, I guess, but from what I've seen, most people are just using the good old, I'm gonna make everyone jealous, and I'm gonna screw people over who screwed me over, and that's gonna create scarcity, jealousy, and girls are gonna chase after me, and if they don't give me what I want, I'm gonna do this or that. And most people are doing it. So you really don't actually have any good role models to look up to, including myself, because a lot of times I have even endorsed these kind of behaviors. And I've always been very careful. Like, you can look back on my track record, right? So I wrote an article when I was still in college, actually, on this exact topic, right? I'll put it in the description below so you can see, like, this is an article from like, oh my God, was it 2015 or 2000? I think it was 2015, right? So a long time ago. And I still was telling the stuff that I'm doing in this video right now. And it was an article series called The Genuine Man. And the first article was The Arrogant Man. And that was step one, right? So it was basically saying you need to go through a villain era so that you can learn X and Y. But at the end of the article, I'm like, but you're going to realize that you really didn't need to go through the villain era in the first place, right? You just needed to take bits and pieces from that. Like, you have this idea of what you need to become. I'm going to become an asshole who doesn't give a fuck. If a girl flakes on me, I'm going to go replace her in 5 minutes, all of these things, right? You just need to take the actual effective things out of it and then leave the, the negative, ewy parts out of it. Any of the malice, I want to get revenge on people. I want people to be angry I want her to be I want her to rue the day that she rejected me and to be jealous. And man, that's just so fucking unnecessary, right? But there's something that's inside of that motivation that can actually be positive if you only take the like tactical part of it, right? So what would be some like positive tactical things? Like speaking your mind, being honest, even if it were to upset someone else. You're not speaking the truth to hurt people, but you're speaking the truth in spite of the fact that it might hurt someone. There's two very different things there. One has ill will behind it, and one just has truth behind it. You know, I'm going to be more direct with people. I'm not going, you know, let's say you got friend zoned all the time. You're like, all right, I'm going to be like super direct and sexual. Great. You should be honest with women what they want. Like walk up to a girl and tell her you think she's attractive. Don't like try to become her friend and slow game her and one day she's going to, no. Hey, I think you're beautiful. Hey, I think you're sexy or cute, whatever. And make your intentions known, right? That's fine. Or, you know, I'm going to tease girls. Right, so I'm not going to be afraid to like joke around with a girl and show her that I don't see her as this perfect princess and put her on a pedestal. Great, that's a good part. But then guys are like, all right, I'm going to be an asshole and say horrible things to her, and it might actually work. I've said some horrible things to women, and they just would giggle and love me and then sleep with me. And I know what I would think was, oh, it's because I was being an asshole. But then as I laid out in that article that I wrote out a long time ago, so even my dumbass 20-year-old self figured this stuff out, right? When everyone else in the world is too stupid to, you know, do some basic philosophy where you're just like, okay, I'm going to take this part out. Like I'm being rude right now, right? Am I saying it with ill will? No, I'm using language like calling people dumb and assholes and idiots because it's the truth. They're doing something wrong, so they fit the definition of idiot, right? And I'm kind of being harsh with my language, but it's with the intention of kind of waking you up, like kind of being like the harsh sensei, right? So, you know, you may see it as arrogance. Oh, this guy thinks he knows all the answers and you know, he's so much better than everyone. Well, to a certain extent, yes, right? But there doesn't have to be like, I don't wish ill will on you. I'm just speaking what I've personally experienced as the truth. So am I going to choose to save your feelings or not come off arrogant and then lie? No, that's not integrity, right? That's literally the opposite of integrity. I'm going to choose to speak the truth, and I'm going to like add some little flavors to it with some arrogant speech and some, you know, cockiness, or you think it's cockiness and perceive it as such. But really, I'm just speaking truthfully and with a little bit of assertiveness to kind of get you to wake up and show you all these people don't know what they're talking about, right? So in this article, you can go read it. Like I said, it's in the description. It wasn't fully formed, but it was still pretty much the essence of this video, was that once you start being arrogant and doing your asshole phase, you're going to realize you didn't really need to do it in the first place. You only needed to take the good parts from it and apply those and then leave all the superfluous, like evil, dark side shit, black magic on the side, okay? And if you can do that properly and just be Super Saiyan but not go to the dark side, then you're going to have everything that it is that you want and avoid all that frustration and disappointment and feelings of unworthiness and that you felt because you thought you were being, you know, too nice or too vulnerable, and just become strong, but then keep your fucking integrity and your morality, and then you go to the next level, right? Which is what I talked about in that Genuine Man series. Like, you know, there's 10 parts in that article. It was a huge article series. And when you get to the what I call the genuine man, you'll see that like there's so many more layers to this. You can be vulnerable with women. I've cried in front of a girl that I loved, like ugly tears multiple times because I was going through a difficult time. And she loved me even more because of it, right? But then the fools of this world, they only think in dichotomies. Like, you only think in Republican and Democrat, or red pill and blue pill, or because it's easy to think in this way. It takes a mind that has some insight and discernment to be able to like, oh, okay, and it's not centrist either, right? Then some people are like, oh, if I sit in the middle, then no, that's not balance. Sitting in the middle is not balance. That's just the illusion of balance. True balance is created by balancing on a point, and that requires you to put weight in not equal distributions, right? Because that's what the centrist thinks. And I don't just mean this politically. I mean in any sense, red pill, blue pill, right? Oh, I want to be a centrist. No, the centrist is not, he's in the middle, but he's not balanced. Because sometimes to truly balance on a point, let's say you have something like super heavy over here. You have to have something of equal weight over here, but they can be made of different substances, right? You could have 100 pounds of feathers and you have 100 pounds of bricks, but it only requires 10 bricks. Like, I hope you get what I'm doing at with this metaphor, is that you could have distributions of weight in your philosophies that are of different substances, but they have different weights to them because they're different substances, and that'll create true balance. Like, that might be a little bit difficult. You may be like, the fuck is this guy talking about? But if you really understand that metaphor, you'll see, okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that, like, let's say a characteristic like, enforcing boundaries, and like, when I speak, and if someone, like, I don't know, calls me a liar or starts to make jokes at my expense, I'm going to be like, hey, I don't appreciate that, right? So that's like a very forceful, heavy quality, right? So how do you create balance? Well, I may be a very assertive person, so this is a very heavy part of my personality, but I can have vulnerability and gentleness, and I speak very sweetly to people when I don't need to be this person. And I have all these things, right? These are very light qualities. But if I array them in a distribution, or like I distribute the weights kind of in a fan, they will eventually be heavy enough to counterbalance this very heavy quality of like enforcing boundaries or speaking my mind, or maybe I kind of have a darker sense of humor, whatever it is. And I can create actual balance through the balance of heavy and light, rather than, I'm an asshole, but I have a heart of gold. No, don't be an asshole with a heart of gold. Be a nice guy who has boundaries. You see? There's smarter and more intelligent ways to go about creating the personality that you truly want, right? So don't go into your villain era. So with that video that I showed you, don't try to make girls jealous, right? Now, I would go through fuckboy phases, right, where I'm just like posting videos of girls, and I would have other girls send me messages like nudes, be like, oh, am I prettier than her? Or like, oh, I saw you with some of my girls. Like, some girls would even be like super open about it, like, I saw you with other girls here, I'm competing. It would be like the most, like, it was perfect proof that what I was doing was working. But here's the thing, I didn't have any ill will behind it. That's just who I was. I wasn't going out like, oh, I'm gonna make all these girls jealous, right? I was aware that this is a possibility, but I never hid who I was. I was like, girls, I am a dating coach. I'm a pickup artist. This is what I do. So if you're gonna fuck me and spend time with me and date me, this is just who I am. You're gonna see me posting videos of me out partying, with girls and picking up girls, and you might see me post a picture, or, I'm going to post a half nude of me because I was in really good shape. I'm going to be, that's just who I was. It would be no different from a chick who's like posting slutty pictures. That's just who I was at that point in my life, and I never hid it. So it wasn't like I'm doing this to get back at anyone. I'm just like, I just want to be a slut. That's it. And girls were willingly engaging with me, right? Now, even then, I still had to be careful because I knew I was having an effect on these women. So I did care about these women. I wanted to make sure that they knew I cared about them. And, I'm not trying to play games with them. I'm just this kind of guy. I wouldn't, I'm not perfect, right? There would be times when I would engage in villainous kind of like, I would get flaked on. And this girl, I didn't send this girl a video of me with another girl. But I would go out to pick up another girl. But that was just for me. I was just trying to like, all right, don't get in this funk, Hector. Just go out and pick up another girl. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, this wasn't your, you didn't lose your wife or your girlfriend of, 5 years. So just go out and pick up another girl. And I was like, okay, I was doing it for me. Now I feel like that girl who's like, yeah, I dress up all slutty and go to the club for me. It's like, no, you're doing it for, if you wanted to do it, you would sit home alone and dance. You're obviously going out to get attention, right? So I hope that in this incoherent rant, there's been a cogent point that has been made. That you don't need to do things in a villainous way and try to make people jealous and make people like regret not being with you. Just be successful, right? Just get girls. if women get jealous, like let's say you move on from a chick and then you go to a party and that chick who rejected you is there, and then you're hanging out with a girl and she gets all jealous and wants to suck your dick now. Be careful, right? Take advantage of it. I mean, if she wants to suck your dick, then let her, right? If you're not truly that upset about it, because you shouldn't be. It's not a big deal. And I've had that happen tons of times. It's like, all right, whatever, I'll just fuck you. Now, I would remember how she acted, and it's not like I'm not going to date her. I know not to date her because of she's acting like this, because I don't want to be part of that shit. But I would take it. I mean, why not? Get my dick sucked, get some pussy, whatever. But you got to be careful. Don't let it intoxicate you, because what happens is maybe you didn't purposefully, maliciously act like a dick and to make her jealous. It just happened by happenstance. But then you're gonna go, this is nice. I like this feeling of power. I want to do it more. That's the allure of the dark side. So you got to be careful. Even if you're not purposely doing things, you will have moments where you get power when you do become Super Saiyan, and you need to be very careful to not let that power intoxicate you, because it's super fucking intoxicating. When you get attention from everyone, all these girls want you, power corrupts. I promise you, buddy. And it's very difficult to say no. But if you can say no, something really beautiful awaits you. True Super Saiyan. Ultra Instinct awaits you, right? But you could never get to Ultra Instinct when you're all tense. That's what Vegeta learned in Dragon Ball Super, right? He's always so tense, so he could never get to Ultra Instinct. So you have to let go of that in order to get to Ultra Instinct. So, anyways, don't go into your villainaire. It's not worth it. TLDR, right? All right. Hector Castillo, girlchase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I will see you soon.